Alright.
Alright, it says December 25th was the birthday of Nimrod. This is the real origin of the Christmas tree. It said traditionally a Yule log was burned in the fireplace on Christmas Eve, and during the night of the log's embers died, there appeared in the room as if by magic a Christmas tree surrounded by gifts. The Yule log represented the sun god Nimrod, and the Christmas tree represented himself resurrected as his own son Tammuz. So our Christmas tree and our Yule log have tremendous meaning, but not a Christian meaning. The Yule log is the dead Nimrod, human ruler of ancient Babylon, who was eventually defied as the Son incarnate and hence a god. The Christmas tree is a mystical Tammuz, the slain God come to life again. It says the real origin of Christmas goes back to ancient Babylon. It is bound up in the organized apostasy which the devil has gripped a deceived world these many centuries in Egypt. It was always believed that the son of Iris, Egyptian name for Queen of Heaven, was born December 25th. Semiramis also bore the title Queen of Heaven, and she was Nimrod's mother. Paganism celebrated this famous birthday over most of the known world for centuries before the birth of Messiah.
So we got two issues at this time frame. One, this tradition was already proceeding prior to Yahushua even came on earth. Okay. Second one, got something? All right. Second one, so basically the tree situation that derived from the tradition of Nimrod, so on and so forth. And then another issue is, it was like what we call so-called winter, but according to the scriptures, it was around the springtime. And through the Spirit, we're gonna delve in that, man. All right. Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah 10, start of 1. Hear ye the word which the Most High spoke.
And if y'all got some quick precepts, bring them out. I don't want to lose the point. Go ahead.
The Most High speak unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said the Most High, lead not the way of the heathen, and be learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And when you're following Christmas, man, you're learning the way of the heathen, and those traditions are passed on from our parents and from their parents, so on and so forth. And don't be dismayed at the heavens. And another thing about that, when you see shooting stars or chariots and things of that nature, you don't supposed to be dismayed by that, man. Go ahead.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Mm-hmm.
For the customs of the people are vain.
Yeah, for the customs of the people are vain. And we're going into so-called Christmas on Sunday, man. And it's a vain tradition. There's no salvation in that, man. Go ahead.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest,
mm-hmm.
the works of the hands of the workman, and with the axe.
Right. So you get a tree and a person using axe to cut this tree down. Go ahead.
They deck it with silver and gold.
Right. They deck it with silver and gold, and we see that since we've been in America. And they use their lights and Christmas ornaments, so on and so forth, to dress it up. Go ahead.
They fasten it with nails and with hammer.
Yeah, and the reason why they fasten with nails and hammers is because it can't stand upright alone. That's why they have to have these tripods. Go ahead.
They move not.
Right. So it cannot move not, meaning it stabilizes it. Go ahead.
They are upright as the palm tree.
Right. And once it's fastened with the nails and the hammers, they're upright as the palm tree, meaning that it's erected straight up. Go ahead.
But speak not.
Speak not. Go ahead.
They must need to be borne.
Meaning that basically it doesn't walk in your house. You actually have to pick it up and carry the motherfucker inside your home. Go ahead.
Because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them.
Be not afraid of them. And then I had read an article a long time ago that people would bring the Christmas tree in the house and they would have to put gifts under there. And if not, Nimrod's spirit would come and kill everybody inside the house. Because why? The gifts would appease him. Go ahead.
For they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good.
Right. So if you have a Christmas tree in your household, and if you don't have presents under the damn tree, it's not going to do anything to you. Okay. His spirit is not going to come out of that tree and kill everybody inside the household. And at the same time, by you having that Christmas tree in your house, it's not doing any good. Why? Because it's a vain custom of the heathen. And if y'all got points, talk, please. Go ahead, bro.
Want me keep going? Well, they probably on him though.
Yeah, that was it on the
Is
heart.
that spirit? Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, that was it on the heart. Go ahead.
I got two precepts. It's Genesis chapter 10, verse 8 through 10. And Cush begat Nimrod, and he began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter, therefore.
And that's where this Christmas tree per se go out. Go back to Cush. Cush would be the so-called Ethiopians of today. Go ahead. Cushites.
And he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, where it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and X, and Erech, and Es, and Akkad, and Canaan in the land of Shinar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically it. But just going to the origin of this was Nimrod was born through Cush, man. He actually came through the land of Ham. And he said this was the beginning of the kingdom was Babel, man. So this Nimrod basically was like the first man to push like all nations being together, with the Tower of Babel and everything. Yeah, I got something. I got a precept. But like the brother going to the ark, this Nimrod in the beginning in Genesis, man. This where a lot of these customs came from, man. Nimrod, but the customs came from the other nations. This Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies, shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt.
Their bodies are the Israelites, and that city would be today known as America. Go ahead.
Which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Right, because a lot of traditions from America goes back to these vain customs, man.
Because between Egypt and Babylon, it be the same deity that they worship. They just changed the names on it. And then Roman took it up as well. They just changed the names on it. Because like what I'm saying with that Christmas tree, when you put a Christmas tree up in your house, that's a memorial to Nimrod.
Right.
You doing the same tradition they was doing, man. So you slapping the Most High. You how shy in the face when you put that Christmas tree up, man, because you involuntarily worshiping paganism, you don't know it, man. And when brothers tell you, people like to say they doing it, they doing it for a different reason. They doing it to celebrate the birth of who they call Christ, man. But you really, that tradition that you doing really came from somewhere. It ain't nothing that somebody just made up and say, well, we just gonna say this Christ's birthday, because that's what most people think. This tradition actually came from somewhere, man. When you see the nativity scene set up, man, that's really the Queen of Heaven, Ceramics holding Tammuz, man. That's supposed to be resurrected Nimrod, man. So you really deep into paganism worship when you do when you celebrate Christmas and the tradition.
Mm-hmm. I got a quick precept to back you up. Y'all, you got something? Did you have a precept?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, because you had yours before I did.
This Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Which is America, man. Go ahead. And that dust represents the confusion. Go ahead.
Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, but thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Right, and then and through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Al-Shai, we're exposing America, man, because like the brother's saying that, hey, that worship goes back to Nimrod, and also during the Roman ring, they had dressed it up as well too, man.
Yeah,
so
okay.
all these philosophies are passed on from one kingdom to another kingdom, but each kingdom just put their different twist on it, which is their culture, so on and so forth. Go ahead, you said you had something?
Yeah, this the article that say about the histories of Christmas.
I can go on to it.
Go ahead.
But just to add on what you were saying too, it actually say it say, "Oh virgin daughter of Babylon, come sit down in the dust," you know. So it's letting you know Babylon have like a virgin daughter, which is like they're keeping the same customs of Babylon, man. Which go back to the kingdom of Babel, man. Verse 2, take the milestones and grind mills, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers.
Yeah, uncover your shame, man. And your shame is basically that you are a satanic kingdom, which has a satanic vibration. Go ahead.
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
And how is your nakedness uncovered? Through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Al-Shai, he has his prophets out there and also whistleblowers, man. Go ahead.
Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will meet thee, and I will not meet thee as a man.
That's right, because when Yahweh Shai comes back upon earth, man, he's going to have that angelic body, man. All right?
Okay, quick.
Okay. Hey, let me get that collage.
Okay.
Quick.
This 2 and 8. 2 and 8.
2 and 8.
This Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit.
Vain deceit, man. So basically, a lot of times people know what's going on. They know Christmas goes back to Nimrod, and some people don't. But at the same time, you know, you're still going off if you carry this tradition. You know, it's a different story getting a plate and eating that plate, you know what I'm saying, doing that day, because you're not blessing that food in the name of Yahweh Hashem Al-Shai, you know. But when you go on that day and you're giving gifts and you're praying in the name of their gods and Jesus Christ, that's when you're going off, man. Go ahead.
Out of the rudiments of the world and not after the Mashiach.
Right, and when you tell people that this is not after Mashiach, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, what they say, then, well, it's a day for family, to gather the family, so on and so forth. But no, that's a rudiment of the world, man. Go ahead.
If I can say this, if it's a day for the family, they still keeping them customs, though. They still gonna have the Christmas tree. They still gonna, you know, they gonna be putting the Christmas lights, so they still gonna be putting all those vain customs up, man. Cause we use it as a day for the gather, you know what I'm saying? It's a day to take off work. Yeah, you can go see your family or whatever. You got a day out, but you know your mom and grandma should still have the Christmas tree up, you know, and so on, man.
That's right, that's right. Go ahead, bro.
And it's Amos 5 and 21.
Let's go.
I despise your feast days.
Yeah, this is Yahweh Hashem Al-Shai, man, because he's not with that shit, man. He's not with you celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving. Why? Because that is a rudiment of the world. Go ahead.
And I will not smell in your solemn assembly.
Right, and so when you're gathering, you talked about you doing this for God and Jesus, you're right, man. You're doing it for Caesar Borgia, man, and Satan, man. Because the powers that we believe in, they're not into that, man. That is not of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai.
Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offering, I would not accept them.
Cooking turkeys and shit, and you going out there, think you doing a good thing by passing out to homeless people on the streets, man. That's not, you're not being accepted of Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
I would not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offering of your fattened beasts.
Right, because basically that peace offering is actually going to Satan, man.
We got to all.
Yeah, it just go into the custom of Christmas, where they come from. They say celebrating Jesus' birthday. The Christians did not celebrate Jesus' birth because they considered the celebration of anyone's birth to be a pagan custom. That came from the World Book's encyclopedia.
Hey, repeat that again.
They say the early Christians did not celebrate the birth of Jesus because they considered the celebration of anyone's birth to be a pagan custom.
Okay.
If I can say this, I think the first people to celebrate their birthday was Babylon too, man. But like the article say, it said the early Christians didn't not only celebrate whom the world called Christ's birthday, but they ain't celebrating no birthday. You know?
Right.
A quick precept, Job 14:1. Man that is born of woman is a few days and full of trouble, man. So that lets you know that when you come on earth, then hey, basically you gonna go through hell, man. You know? Go ahead.
Then they say that the gift giving and the feasting and the partying, the Encyclopedia Americana says the Saturnalia, a Roman feast celebrated in the mid-December, provided the model for many of the merry-making customs of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
From this celebration, for examples, were derived the elaborate feasting, the giving of gifts, and burning of candles.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Encyclopedia Britannica notes that all works of business were suspended during the Saturnalia. So that's why we know all us probably off of work, they close and shit down because the America still follow their custom.
That's right.
The Christmas lights, the European religion, this is some kind of book. Europeans decorated their homes with lights and evergreens of all kinds to celebrate the winter solstice and to combat evil spirits.
And that's what it goes back to. Because like I said, if Yahweh was here on earth, he would not be celebrating his per se birthday. Ecclesiastes 7:1. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. Because while you in captivity, man, then Solomon say that everything on earth was basically vanity, so on and so forth. But when you follow those traditions and those concepts guided by your family, man, then those are actually precepts of men, man. That's actually disconnecting you from Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
Right. One more. The mistletoe and the holly. They say the Druids ascribe magical properties in the mistletoe in particular. The evergreen holly was worshipped as a promise of the sun's return. So this is just all this stuff satanic.
Right, so all the holidays that's celebrated in America, man, go back to witchcraft, paganism, satanic worship, man. You know, that's why the Lord gonna destroy America, man. This country just as far as all those ancient kingdoms, man, this country just put all their customs into one and celebrate it, man. You know, it's almost every month, man. You know.
Quick point. It says the Roman Emperor Constantine formed a religious council in Nicaea, Asia Minor, which is Turkey, in 325 AD, in which pagan customs were merged with Hebrew traditions to form Christianity.
Right. If I can say this, Constantine was an Israelite, man, but he learned the way of the heathen, man. So he started to mix pagan customs into Hebrew traditions. That's why you got the word Easter in the book of Acts, man. What is it, the 12th chapter? In the book of Acts, the 12th chapter, man. You know, go with it.
It says prior to that, the official religion of Rome was the worship of Sol Invictus, the sun god. December 25th was the birth of a mythical pagan deity called Mithras, as well as the winter solstice. The Romans celebrated the winter solstice with a feast called Saturnalia in honor of Saturnus, the deity for agriculture. They decorated their houses with greens and lights and exchanged gifts. They gave coins for prosperity, pastries for happiness, and lamps to light ones.
Right, if I can say this, it all started with like I said with Nimrod, but then as the nations learned,